Right, well, Emily, I guess, explain, what are you guys doing out here? We're in Tanana currently, but what are you guys doing throughout this journey here?
We are embarking on the old Serum Run Trail, so it's the 100-year anniversary of the Serum Run, and we're following, not replicating quite exactly, but we're trying to do the best that we can, and we've started from our house in between Fairbanks and Nenana, and now we're here in Tanana, and we're going to make our way over to Nome.
Walter, how did this kind of come together? What's kind of the idea behind this, why you guys are doing this?
Well, I think it's a pretty big event. 100-year anniversary, 1925, there was kids in Nome that had diphtheria. At that time, there was one airplane in Fairbanks that was grounded. They had never flown in that cold of weather. It was like 50 below. So, it's a big event for our state, something that happened 100 years ago, and a relay for life, and pretty important event. So, we've kind of been looking at it. It's been coming up, the 100-year anniversary, so we decided as a family to do it. We're from the Nenana area, and that's where the serum got dropped off by the railroad, and dog team took it from there and went through Tolovana Roadhouse, which the kids have grew up around that place, an awesome roadhouse, last remaining roadhouse from the serum run. And it went from Nenana to Nome, around 700 miles. And when Iditarod, we've been thinking about it for a few years, but once Iditarod decided they're going to start in Fairbanks, the trail's put in, so we're like, let's do it. So kind of last minute planning, and we had to ship out supplies to Northern Air Cargo, and we got stuff in Uniclete and in Nome, and we're hauling a bunch of stuff with snow machine, and it gives the kids a chance to see the trail and see the villages, and just an awesome experience.
Super cool. And Stanley, when they said, hey, we're going on this, what made you jump in and say, yeah, I want to join too?
Well, I don't think I really get a say in this. I think I'm just going with it. But no, this has been super fun so far. I'm super excited to keep heading down the river, and yeah, it's awesome to be out with the dogs and excited to go to Nome.
Yeah.
That's right, in the element. And Emily, what have you learned about that run specifically, and just about this journey, and just the capability of dogs and transportation and their need in this time?
So yeah, I've been running dogs for quite a few years, but this is going to be a little bit different because I'm going to be able to actually enjoy the trail. Whereas when you're racing, you're kind of way focused on getting to the checkpoint and that sort of thing, and really hustling and moving. So it's been enjoyable just running the dog team, kind of just relaxing, stopping more, and just having more fun with it. We went through a crossing where it was basically like a giant sandbar, and it was very, very windy. And it was also like sheets of ice and stuff. So it was quite the adventure going through that. For a little bit, I was like, oh shoot, what did I do? Because I was in front of my dad, and we also had friends come with us up here to Tanana. So I was in front of them with the dog team, and then they were behind on the snow machine. And I was like, well, I hope they don't get lost or they don't have issues, because I was stopped with my dog team and I had to wait for them to catch up. So yeah, that was very eye-opening experience. Very almost not quite dangerous, but definitely tricky and challenging. But yeah, so far the trail has been really nice. It's been a very enjoyable, warm March weekend, and yeah, we're just having a lot of fun doing it.
Lots of lessons to learn for sure. Yeah, first warm few first days for sure. And what about historically? What have you learned about researching or about Zeppela and Togo and Balto, and how important this run was? What have you learned about that side of this whole experience?
So I've grown up in my childhood. I watched the Balto movie, and it's pretty synonymous with growing up and watching that, and then having dogs myself. I actually named a dog Balto because of the movie, and yeah, it's just been kind of learning about it my entire childhood, and recently I read the Cruelest Miles. And that's a very in-depth book about the Serum Run, and for high school I'm actually learning about Alaskan history and stuff. And back in the day in 1925, this was the moon practically, living here in Alaska, and it was just very uncharted territory, and there's a bunch of old gold miners and that sort of thing during the early 1900s, and in 1925 there's a little bit more infrastructure here in Alaska, but not much. So yeah, like it was very uncharted territory and very wild, rugged country. So to have all of the dog teams that took the serum to Nome and that sort of thing, it was quite the event and quite like the expedition, and yeah.
No, for sure. Wally, what have you learned or read about some of the extremes, of that run and the importance of it and what it took to get that medicine to Nome there?
Well, at that time they had one plane in Fairbanks and it was tore apart. So they had no way to get the serum there. So they the governor at that time was a territory, but he made the decision to use dog team to go to Nome. And at that time, the Fairbanks Daily News Miner was owned by a guy that was really pushing for the plane. And so he was really lobbying to try to get the plane to do it. And they tried to fire up their plane, but it wouldn't start. And, that guy at the News Miner kind of had to eat his words. And he said, at the end of the day, my hat goes off to the dogs because the dogs are reliable. Even out here, we got one dog team and one snow machine, but I'm a little nervous on the snow machine because it's mechanical. The dogs will go. They love to run, and that bond between human and dog goes back thousands of years. And from my research, you go back into the teens in Alaska. If you wanted to get from once rivers froze up, if you wanted to get from Fairbanks out of the state, you had to take a 3-week dog sled ride to get to Valdez where there was tidewater, and it helped build Alaska dog teams, and very important.
Will we see you entering any races or just doing more recreationally?
Next year I will be running junior Iditarod, Knick 100, and maybe 200, or Emily will take the 200. We'll see about that. And Emily will be running the Cusco next year, hopefully. And yeah, we're just super excited. We're gonna keep racing and having a good time.
Cool, awesome. Just one more question each for you, Wally. Just what's this experience like? Doing it with your kids, and just have you had any moments of reflection of like, hey, we're doing this. This is actually happening, and being able to do it with them.
Yeah, we were kind of in a hurry to get out here and get on the trail, but once you're out there, and we're stopping at Tolovana Roadhouse and having a good time, and traveling down the trail and seeing the kids run the dogs. Yeah, it's pretty special to see them doing it, and just to be covering this trail and the history, and stopping the villages. And we have a lot of friends in different villages, and we stayed last night here in Tanana. Our good friend late Lester Earhart, he was a big dog musher out here in Tanana. I had a lot of good memories with him, and here at the town hall, I've been coming out to Tanana for a lot of years. So just reflecting back on friends and just the history of everything, and doing it with my kids is a pretty awesome experience.
Emily, have you had any moments of reflection of, hey, I'm doing this, I'm on a historic trail with many other mushers have done before, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do? Any moments of like that?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how many teenagers have done this trail historically, but we might be one of the first. But yeah, it's just a very cool experience being out here with my dog team that is, run races or is going to be my future race team, and getting them used to camping and that sort of thing, and getting them to see the finish line in Nome. So yeah, it's just been very cool. More thinking about like the races that I've done and that sort of thing, and just reflecting on, all of the accomplishments we've been able to achieve. So yeah, it's just very cool running with my dogs on this very historical run. It's just nice that it's not 40 below like it was 100 years ago.
That's right. I'm sure there'll be more tales from the trail as we get further on. But
Yes.
Was there any other things to mention or shout out, or things that you guys wanted to let the people know, or anything as well?
Yeah, no, we're just excited to be going to Nome, and I encourage everyone to research the serum run and the important role it played in Alaska. And we're also posting a lot of stuff on our Robinson Racing Facebook page, historical type stuff, and trying to get a little information every time we go to each village, and yeah.
I was gonna ask Emily real quick. So last year I was with you when you brought the chocolate ice cream for your dad.
Yes.
When you make it, what's he gonna bring you?
That is a very good question. Chocolate milk.
Yeah, she likes chocolate milk.
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out to her mom that's at home with the dogs.
Yeah.
She likes her alone time at home. She kind of wanted to come, but she was like, alone time. I'll stay home.
Also,
Somebody has to whoa man the fort.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. Thank you guys for
Fun.
taking the time.
Yeah.
It's definitely helped.